Anybody who doesn't think a Harley-Davidson is a performance motorcycle obviously has never seen the jumps done by Evel Knievel, Seth Enslow, whose record stood for 15 years and was just beat 6 weeks ago by Colby Raha on a 1200 Sportster, very similar to this. Or you haven't seen the Slydegp series, which was competed AMA National Series. And this bike is an exact replica of the bike that got third in the AMA Championship standings. The spec sheet for this build is exactly as Brendan Baptista's bike was built. The only difference is we added a Kayaba inverted 2-inch over 5 inches of suspension travel front end, along with a high-end Brembo front disc brake with radial disc calipers and 12.8-inch floating rotors. So other than that, this is exactly what he took to the podium multiple times in the AMA Slydegp series in the national championship. So that was my inspiration behind this build. Was my whole life I've watched performance Sportsters, not big twins until recently with the Bagger Racing series. It's always been Sportsters, and they left a lasting impression on me. When I was just a little kid, the 77 XLCR Cafe Racer came out. I was 12 years old. The first time I saw one, my jaw dropped. And the first time I saw one pass me at 100 miles with an open set of drag pipes on it, I was hooked. In fact, our company logo is that motorcycle. And if you walk in the museum right behind here, the very first motorcycle you can see is that bike. Let me show it to you real quick. This very motorcycle. Evel Knievel inspired a generation of stunt riders, and Seth Enslow carried that legacy on, setting a world record in 2010 by jumping a Harley-Davidson Sportster 1200, 183.7 feet. And then just 6 weeks ago, it absolutely blew my mind. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Colby Raha shattered that record at the Thunderdome, jumping a Harley-Davidson Sportster 1200, same frame and spec as this, 205 feet. That's 20 feet farther than Enslow's legendary leap. And his bike, he kept it, had the stock front end on it, stock wheels. He had a custom performance shocks and a fork kit on it, but it didn't have what this bike has on it. He would have been able to probably jump 215 feet with this setup on here. These are Kayaba performance forks on this. So he did that jump 3 times in a row. He went like 200 foot, 203. If I'm not, I don't remember exactly what the numbers were, but it took him 3 tries, and he went back to back to back jumping, and he finally got 205 feet and set the world record. It was the most insane thing I'd ever seen. So I've been inspired by performance Harley since I was a kid. I've been going to Daytona every year. I've seen the evolution of the species, and from 1990 to 2001, Harley-Davidson, the AMA, sanctioned the Twin Sport Series. It was an 11-year international championship featuring 883 Sportsters only, supported by Parts Unlimited founder Fred Fox. So I'd been to Daytona every year and saw those bikes racing. I was amazed at the whipping that they would take. And most recently, East Coastin', these guys right here, sponsored by Harley-Davidson, the young rider Paulie, he had a Sportster 1200. He was stunting that for a couple of years. It's just amazing how much abuse the bikes can take. So, and now to follow up with his grandfather, Fred Fox, in 2024, the Slydegp series, originally called Drifter Cross, but there was a copyright dispute, I guess, on the name. So it's Slydegp was launched, a Harley-Davidson-backed drift racing series at venues like Daytona and Sturgis, founded by Alex Fox, the grandson of Fred Fox, the guy who started the 883 Sportster series. I guess the apple didn't fall far from the tree, huh? Coming from a family of motorcycle royalty, Alex Fox carried forward the Parts Unlimited legacy while creating a new generation of Harley racing. Riders like Brendan Baptista, as I mentioned earlier, competed. He's a pro motocross racer in his 40s, who I think he was the oldest competitor in the Slydegp series, competing on a Sportster 1200, finishing in the AMA top 3. This motorcycle was built following Baptista's build sheet to the T, but upgraded even further with the Kayaba inverted front end and premium suspension. And I'm going to go over the spec sheet in a second. Sly Fox is Alex Fox's company. He makes performance parts for Sportsters, big twins, and all Harley-Davidson, specifically carbon fiber, seats, bars, risers. In fact, Colby Raha had his handlebars on his bike when he jumped 205 feet. So performance proven accessories. So this is your opportunity. This is coming up for sale. This bike was built to compete at the Connecticut round of the Slydegp series. Unfortunately, there was some issues and they weren't able to get the insurance in time. So we had actually, I personally rented the track, and sadly we couldn't pull the series off, couldn't get it together in time. But the bike, it took about 6 months to create this masterpiece, and I'll go over the work order and all the components we did on it to create what you see here. The Sly Fox carpet underneath it, that's a nod to Alex being the inspiration behind the whole Slydegp series. And this is an opportunity for you because it's going up for sale, and it's never been raced, never competed. It's only been ridden up and down the driveway, probably less than 30 miles tops on the build. And it's got very, very low miles on it to begin with. I think I'll have to turn the speedometer. I think it's 6,900 miles on it. So this is your opportunity to own a truly one-of-a-kind Harley-Davidson 48, meticulously built with over $24,000 invested in premium parts and professional labor, inspired by the legends of Harley-Davidson racing and stunt history. From stunt riding, jumping, road racing, and cruising, this Sportster is built to do it all. You will not find a better equipped, better detailed, or better documented Sportster for sale anywhere online today. This absolutely stunning Harley-Davidson XL 1200X 48 has been completely customized from the ground up. This is not your average Sportster. It's a show quality, performance-oriented, custom build. It's been professionally built, professionally tuned, has pro-level paintwork on it, and it's been detailed to the nines. It's in pristine showroom, brand new condition, and has just 7,904 original miles. Every inch of this bike has been upgraded, polished, tuned, and perfected. The parts total on this bike was $13,057, and the labor was 75 hours of shop labor at $150 an hour was $11,200, so the total was $24,300. Starting at the back, check out the shocks on this bike. These are Legend Revo ARC piggyback dual rear shocks, custom ordered for this bike with the 130 spring. And that graphic that you see on it was custom made by my honey, Christy at Steiger Designs, to perfectly match the original factory tank stripe paint code and the one on the pinstripes on it. So they were customized and set up for this bike. It has a full custom orange and black decal set on it, starting with the one on the side cover right here. It has a Sly Fox decal. It's got the East Coast and Crew, the Slydegp. On the gas tank, it's got the Slydegp Sportster decal. Then you get to the front of the bike. Total artwork. Custom inverted Kayaba front fork system, 2-inch over stock with the gold anodized tubes. Those are billet CNC machine triple clamps. Custom, and it has a custom machined steering stem and spacers. I want to thank everybody who helped us on this project. Tony, we call him the mad scientist. He's a expert 50-year machinist. He made all of the custom parts for this bike, the steering stem, the front spacers, and everything else. Check out the dual billet radial caliper mounts on the back of the Kayaba forks with those polished aluminum dual piston radial calipers in twin dual 320 millimeter floating front rotors, hooked up with black braided stainless brake lines to the Brembo master cylinder, which is the same one they put on the new baggers. So it's overkill. This thing will do stoppies all day long. The front wheel originally was a 16-inch front wheel. It was upgraded to the 19-inch. These are the hot wheel set to have. Harley-Davidson lightweight aluminum wheels. And you can see they've been vapor blasted, and then the lip was sanded and polished like chrome. So that's a lot of work getting a wheel set to look like that. They're absolutely beautiful. The tires, it has the Shinko. These are the Shinko 77 HD. This is the top tire for stunt riders and Harley-Davidson sport riders overall. It has a 190/19 front tire. The front fender, obviously, is a Sportster fender. The original one was a fat fender that for the 16-inch tire, so it's a custom mount setup, and that front fender was painted to match the tank beautifully. Going up from there, you'll see the controls in the cockpit. It's got the ODI lock-on V-twin grips, built-well handlebars. The controls are Harley-Davidson mid-control foot pegs. This bike came with forward controls originally, which is not the hot setup for riding, performance riding. Has the mid-control shifter and brake setup. The risers are 4-inch rise with 2-inch pullback chrome bar risers to match the handlebars. And it has a custom 3R dual finger clutch lever. Has a matching black front brake lever. And everything's just perfect on the controls here. It's set up exactly the way you want it. The grips are super cushy. The engine has been treated to a Bassani Road Rage 3 high output exhaust system. That's a top of the line, brand new 2025 product. It's got the Arlen Ness Big Sucker air cleaner, the Thunder Max EFI tuner, which is set to safely bounce off the rev limiter. Has a new clutch cable, new primary seal gasket, new NGK BR70S spark plugs, and we're running Bel-Ray 2050 engine oil and a new oil filter. Bel-Ray primary chain case oil and transmission oil. And we're running VP small engine fuel, 94 octane VP ethanol-free fuel. It'll run off pump gas perfectly. I'd recommend premium for sure. And of course, it's got the orange braided stainless lines, which match nicely with the orange package on it. It's got a full protection package by Bung King. It has the Sportster Skyscraper crash bar. It has the upper shock mount frame sliders. It has a shoe saver shift peg. It has a 2-inch lift block stand, which you need underneath the kickstand since the bike's so much higher than stock. And if you look on the highway, the crash pad highway moto peg footrest, which give you basically not only protect the bike, you could literally drop this bike on the ground right here and nothing will get damaged on it. It's designed for aggressive riding, and it gives you the full protection package that you're going to need if you happen to drop the bike. The front tire again is a Shinko 777. The rear is a Shinko 999 rear tire. It's a 150/80 B16 77H. That's it's called, Shinko calls it the long haul 999H. That's the tire you want for stunt riding. Sticks like glue. The Harley-Davidson 11 spoke alloy wheel in the front was matched with a matching. It had spoke wheels originally, so this wheel set is the wheel set that everybody wants for Dynas and Sportsters, and they're getting extremely expensive because, well, I don't think Harley makes them anymore, and it's hard to find a nice set for under $800. And these have been customized, they've been vapor blasted, and then the lip on it was polished like chrome. Quite a bit of effort. The drive chain has been upgraded to chain drive. It's a 530 XRE gold chain. It's a $182 gold chain, top of the line. We went up 3 teeth on the rear sprocket, and it has a Rusty Butcher chain slider to keep everything going in the right direction. The saddle is a Mustang custom leather saddle, and the headlight is a high-performance HID headlight that'll light up the night like daytime. The fuel tank on this bike, I have the original tank that came off it. It was, a typical fuel tank on a used bike, had a couple nicks in it. This is a brand new NOS, which stands for New Old Stock Harley-Davidson 48 Sportster fuel tank. Pretty much unobtainium because they don't make this tank anymore. I was very fortunate to get this, and it was very expensive, but it was worth it because it's perfect. The Sportster front fender is a narrow glide front fender, and it has a full custom graphics package, as I mentioned, by Christy Steiger, and a full professional custom paint job on the fenders, the fender struts, the oil tank, and the side panels. So everything's been repainted to match the brand new fuel tank. Total labor was 40 hours of shop labor, mounting and machining for the front end conversion, the dual disc brake setup, the exhaust install, the tuning, the dyno tuning with the Thunder Max, the air cleaner install, the full fluid service, the belt to chain conversion, the wheel conversion, the suspension tuning, and mounting all the customs. Plus 15 hours in the paint shop to paint the fenders, struts, oil tank, and side panels, and 20 hours in their detail shop doing a full rotisserie detail where every square inch of the bike, from the bottom of the tires to the top of the tachometer, has been polished, buffed, and waxed, including the sanding and polishing and painting of the Harley-Davidson 11-spoke alloy wheels front and back. So 20 hours is a conservative number. So the total we have down here is 75 hours on it. We probably talked about it for more than 75 hours and drooled on it and stumbled around the shop staring at it like a bunch of cavemen, because it wasn't just me, it was myself. I want to thank Andrew. Big tip to my hat to my team, Andrew, for he did most of the assembly work. He was in all the videos on this build. We did like a 3-part build series on it. I want to thank Brendan Baptista for inspiring us, Alex at Sly Fox, everybody who contributed, helped us with the build. Thank you very much. If I don't mention your name, my memory's not that good, but trust me, I know who helped, and I'm grateful for the whole team. Mr. Turbo dyno tuned it. and did all the settings on the mapping. So this bike is pristine showroom, brand new condition, has just 7,900 original miles, starts instantly, runs flawlessly, and you can't even compare it. You can't even imagine how much better this is than a stock 48 with the 16-inch tires and the lowered suspension. This is like it's a canyon carving machine that's ready to take to the open road and pretty much smoke on a back road. There's very few bikes there's very few Harley-Davidsons that will keep up with this Sportster on a back road and or on the track. It just handles like a dream. So every component on it has been either replaced, upgraded, or professionally refinished. It's as close to new as you'll get for a 2010 Harley, only vastly improved with $13,000 in premium upgrades and a total $11,000 of labor. So just a spectacular piece. It was assembled to go to the Slydegp event, which never made it to the East Coast. They'll be coming to Daytona, I'm pretty sure, in March. So I'm putting this bike up for sale. It includes the carpet underneath it. And also, I was planning on riding to the event with Christy. And she flew off the back of my Hot Rod FXR, literally flew off the back riding a wheelie. So I've got this, if you probably might have, if you got a keen eye, you already noticed that it has the quick fit attachment here. So you can pop on your backrest. So you can now you just sort of lean back and pop wheelies all day long. So yeah, I don't really like the look of it with the backrest, but from a safety standpoint, if your girl's riding on the back, you absolutely want that for sure. It comes off as easy as it goes on. It only takes a couple seconds, but I know if you're riding solo, you don't want it, but actually it would help you ride wheelies because it weighs about 6 pounds. It'd be a little more ballast there. But some things I didn't mention, like the custom pegs on it, the front and rear. I love these moto pegs. It'll keep your passenger feet from sliding off and it'll keep you planted. Those are aluminum. I think I covered pretty much everything. It's going to go up on eBay auction. If you're interested in buying this bike, give us a call. My son Kenny Jr. will hook you up at 860-454-7024 anytime Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. We'll ship it right to your door, white glove shipping right to your house. Roll on, roll off, enclosed. Of course, we don't allow our bikes to be shipped on open trailers ever. And or you can fly out to Bradley, take an Uber over and ride it home if you'd like. We also offer financing in-house, and we do take trades. So you got to, I talked about the motivation of why I built this bike at the start of the video, because it really doesn't make sense to put this much money into a bike and end up selling it. But I wanted to show up to the Slydegp at the track that we had rented and ride the bike with the guys. And that didn't come to pass. And we got some other projects we're building. So if it sells, great. If not, I'll have it down in Daytona next year. But I'm sure they don't make these Sportsters anymore. And most of them have been thrashed and ridden into the ground, especially the performance ones. So to have a fresh build like this with everything you'd ever want to do to it, you could add a quarter fairing on there if you wanted to. I mean, the sky's the limit with the Sportster. There's such a huge parts cult following that builds parts for these. But it's done exactly the way I wanted it, and it's a performance improving package. So if you have any questions, give us a call. Thanks for watching. God bless America.